Hey there! This is the second video in a series that I'm calling The Road to Emerald Kaizo. The name pretty much tells the whole story about what the series is about, but here's a quick breakdown. Basically, I want to do a hardcore Nuzlocke of Pokemon Emerald Kaizo, but I'm a total noob whenever it comes to Nuzlockes. So I decided to Nuzlocke 12 games, each of them harder than the last and eventually ending with Emerald Kaizo. The first 6 consist of the first 5 generations of Pokemon with the rules for a genlock tacked on. The last 6 are popular difficulty hacks that make the games more, well, difficult. If you're interested in a more in-depth explanation, go check out the first video in the series. One last thing. I saw a lot of comments on the first video asking for nicknames for Pokemon. This whole Heart Gold Nuzlocke was recorded before the first video even came out, so there won't be any nicknames in this game. But I will be nicknaming Pokemon starting in Emerald, and they'll be nicknamed after recent subscribers. So if you want a chance to be a part of the series, drop me a subscribe. I still have a relatively low number of subscribers, so now is statistically the best time to subscribe and boost your odds of getting a Pokemon named after you. Thanks! We start off by picking Totodile, because he's just the best little water crocodile and I love him. From there, we do all the classic early game stuff. We beat our rival, get some Pokeballs, and catch some early game sack fodder for later. We also quickly learn that our game is very, very cursed. Right? Those are all... What is... But we're also blessed whenever someone in chat points out a very important fact. We can get King Mankey again. We are being given a second chance. A chance to redeem ourselves. We have our first goal. Guarantee that we encounter Mankey on Route 42. In order to do this, we need to catch a few Pokemon. On Route 42, there are 4 potential encounters. Mareep, Flaffy, Mankey, and either Zubat or Spearow depending on the time of day. By catching Zubat, Spearow, and Mareep, we can guarantee that we encounter Mankey, thanks to Dupe's Claws. Spearow and Zubat can be found all over the place in Johto, but Mareep only appears on Route 32, 42, and 43, meaning that we only have 2 chances to find it to guarantee Mankey. But first, we need to get there. We get to Violet City and climb up Sprout Tower, beat up Elder Lee, and then head to the first gym. With the Geodude we picked up in Dark Cave, we make light work of his lead Pidgey. However, his hacked level 13 Pidgeotto gives us trouble thanks to its roost. We're forced to sack off one of those Sackmons we picked up earlier, and we're able to kill it with one last rock throw thanks to the clean switch in. We get to Route 32, which is our first opportunity to catch Mareep. Unfortunately, Mareep only has a 20% encounter rate here, meaning that we might not get it at all. Oh, that's so good for getting Mankey. Oh shit, we cannot lose this Mareep. Under no circumstances can we lose this Mareep. I'm such a fool, dude. I should have bought balls, I should have checked. 1, 2, 3, come on. Yes, okay. Whew. We got him. With Mareep secured, we have practically guaranteed our chances to encounter Mankey. Sure, Repel, why not? Potentially useful later on. Oh, fuck! Oh, shit! Oh, thank fuck I bought ball. No, dude, Premier Ball this bitch. Oh my god. Yeah, dude. Oh. Alright. 2, 3. Premier Ball? Yes! 1 in 8,000. Hell yeah, dude. Oh. That has made my fucking day. And well, if that isn't a sign, I don't know what is. However, we do now have a second goal in addition to catching Mankey. We have to get Mareep through every single game, because I will be damned if I lose a shiny Pokemon. However, that's just going to make the rest of this game just a little bit more stressful. You see, if we get Mareep through this game, we still get to keep it even if we wipe in the next game. We just have to get through this game. The stakes are suddenly very high. After that, we pick up a Zubat in Union Cave and encounter a Spearow on Route 33, which means that we have pretty much guaranteed Mankey on Route 42. After coming down from the high of knowing that the king will join us once again, we move on to Azalea Town and Slowpoke Well. We climb down into the well like we're some kind of Dragon Quest protagonist and easily sweep Proton with our Butterfree. With that finished, we move on to Bugsy and the second gym battle, who is easily swept by our Geodude. Immediately after, we have a rival fight. We lead with Totodile, who takes down the opposing Ghastly with Bite. We're able to whittle down his Bayleaf to red health with our Butterfree, but we have to swap it out to make sure it doesn't die to poison damage. We swap into Flaffy, who has to take a Razor Leaf.
The only A-Palm, so that did a lot more damage than I wanted it to. Ooh! This could kill! Oh! It did more because of overgrowth. Right. I didn't think about that.
With that tragedy avoided, we take out his final Zubat with our Geodude, who is quickly becoming the MVP of this run. However, up next is Whitney. Now, I have no experience battling Whitney. Sure, I played the games as a kid, but I have no memories of her ever being like a nightmare. But I have heard the stories of her Immortal Miltank, and frankly, it has me a little worried. But we have a plan. Heracross. Heracross is the most powerful fighting type Pokemon you can get this early in the game, and it has a chance of having Guts for its ability, which would easily take care of Whitney. The only issue is that Heracross is a very rare encounter. There's a bunch of math behind it that I don't really understand, but I know that it's a really low encounter chance whenever you headbutt a tree in Azalea Town. That's also the only place it appears this early in the game, so we only have one shot to get it. It's a low chance, but we have to go for it. So we teach Headbutt to Totodile from a guy in Elex Forest and head back to Azalea to try our luck. Miraculously, we encounter the Heracross and are able to catch it. Not only that, but this Heracross does have Guts for its ability, and it's female, making it immune to Miltank's Attract. We also pick up a Drowsy on Route 34, which we trade to a guy in Goldenrod for a Machop, who will serve as a backup for Heracross in case anything goes wrong. To prepare for Whitney, we pre-poison Heracross against Wild Nidoran on Route 35 to activate the Guts boost, and then after that, we're ready to fight. We lead with our Heracross and easily OHKO her lead Clefairy thanks to the Guts boost. Next up is Miltank. It outspeeds us and gets off a flinch with Stomp, but we're able to take it out with a single Brick Break on the next turn. Not too shabby. After that, we immediately head to the Ecruteak City Gym, but we're told we have to go find the gym leader Morty in the Burn Tower. So we go do that, and we get jumped by a rival fight that I was totally unprepared for. We end up leading with our Flaffy, who takes out the opposing Ghastly without issue. We bring out Heracross to deal with this Ace Bayleaf, who is taken down after spamming Aerial Ace several times. We also get poisoned, activating Guts. At this point, I get a little bit cocky and assume that Heracross can OHKO the Zubat. It cannot, and we unfortunately lose the Heracross, the second death of the run. Flaffy is able to take out the Zubat, and Geodude handles the Magnemite that follows. Then we scare off the legendary dogs and head off to fight Morty. Morty employs the entire Gengar line and uses almost exclusively Mean Look and Curse. Luckily, this gym isn't too difficult and we're able to take down his whole team with just a couple Dark-type moves. After making our way through Mount Mortar, we finally arrive at the fabled Route 42, the home of King Mankey. And like it was predetermined by fate, we encounter him first try. One ball, one catch. Now that the true protagonist of the story has returned, we can finally progress the plot instead of all this filler arc stuff. We head over to the Lake of Rage, kill the shiny Gyarados, and then watch as Lance turns a man into a fine red mist. After that, we beat the two Rocket executives and move on to keep collecting gym badges. First though, we need to get some medicine for the genetically inferior non-shiny Ampharos at the top of the lighthouse. So we head over to Cyanwood and pick up the secret medicine, and then go to face Chuck. Frankly, this fight is a total joke. It's the 5th gym badge and he only has 2 Pokemon. We make light work of his false Pretender King with the Execute we brought with us from Generation 1, and Feraligatr takes out his Poliwrath easily, ending the battle still at full health. This kind lady is nice enough to just hand us the Fly HM for some reason, which is convenient both for us and for the devs who made the game, who need story. We promptly use it to fly on over to Mahogany Town, where we can take on Price for our 6th gym badge. After struggling with the last ice puzzle for a frankly embarrassing amount of time, we make it to the gym leader. We lead with the Machoke we picked up way back when for the Whitney fight, who is able to bring down his Seal and Dugong. Then all he has left is his Ace Piloswine, who is easily taken out by Feraligatr, who finishes the job with a single Surf. With both of those gyms completed and Ampharos' medicine in hand, we return to the lighthouse and hand the medicine over to Jasmine. Now that Ampharos is cured, Jasmine returns to her job, which means it's time to kick her ass. Once again, we lead with Machoke, who successfully takes out her League Magnemite and the one that follows, but takes significant damage in return. Next up is Steelix. We decide that the best course of action here is to sack off the Machoke to get a clean swap in, since we won't be using the Machoke anymore after this gym. With the swap into Feraligatr, we take out the Steelix and take the badge. After leaving the gym, we get a call from Professor Elm. He tells us that some shenanigans are afoot at the Goldenrod radio tower and that it's our job to stop it. Why is it the job of a 10-year-old boy to stop the Mafia? Beats me, but we have a job to do. We fly over to Goldenrod City to once again put Team Rocket back in their place, though this time we don't have a murderous champion to forcefully get us inside. So we need to get a disguise. We head down to the tunnels underneath the city, and for some reason the Rocket Grunt there just assumes that we're also members of Team Rocket and hands us a uniform. Weird assumption on his part, but pretty convenient for us, so I'm not complaining. Now that we have our disguise, we can stealthily sneak into the radio tower and take out the Rocket Executive at the very top without even needing to fight any grunts. At least, that's what would have happened if our rival didn't blow our cover. Since our disguise is blown, we're forced to battle our way through the tower, but we make it to the top without issue. Here we have to fight Petrol once again. This time he uses a team of 5 coughing and a wheezing, all of whom know self-destruct, which is a little worrisome, but we'll manage. Actually, I lied. It's not at all worrisome. We significantly outlevel his entire team and wipe him with a single Macargo, who ends the fight on full health. Next up is the underground rocket base and a battle with our rival. We lead with our Ampharos, who easily takes out his lead Golbat with a crit discharge. He then immediately sends out his ace Meganium, but we counter it with our Macargo, who is hit with a poison powder. Macargo is able to take it out with 2 lava plumes, but he's dangerously low after being hit by a Petal Dance.
Ugh. So much for Macargo sweeping. Oh shit! Oh fuck.
So we swap into our Feraligatr. His Haunter gives us some trouble with a very powerful Shadow Ball, bringing Feraligatr down to half health. We bring in Ampharos, who eats a second Shadow Ball and is cursed, but thanks to the curse damage, we're able to kill it with a discharge. For his Sneasel, we swap into King Primeape, who easily kills the puny peasant of a Pokemon in a single hit. His final Pokemon suffers a similar fate, being eradicated by a critical hit. With our rival defeated, we make our way through the base, solve the sliding door puzzle, and pick up the keycard, which lets us get to the top of the radio tower. Once there, we beat the 3 Rocket Executives and get the Rainbow Wing as thanks. Next up, we head to Blackthorn City to get the last gym badge, picking up a Swinub and Ice Path along the way. We lead with Magneton, who OHKOs her lead Gyarados with a quad-effective discharge. Clair now swaps into one of her 2 Dragonairs, specifically the one that knows Fire Blast, seeing a kill on the half HP Magneton. This lets us easily swap into our resisting Gyarados, who eats the Fire Blast without flinching. We're then able to take it out with a couple Ice Fangs, as well as the second one that follows. Her last Pokemon is her ace, Kingdra. This Kingdra has Sniper for its ability, meaning that its critical hits deal triple damage instead of double, which is enough to kill anything on our team. To play it safe, we decide to sack off our Gyarados. Then we do one of the proudest plays I've ever done. We swap back into Magneton. In this situation, the AI sees that Hydro Pump will deal the most damage to our Pokemon. Knowing this, we swap into our Dry Skin Parasect, getting a free swap off and getting off a Spore as well.
But you could have just gone straight into Parasect. You didn't need to do the Magneton swap.
You're totally correct, but this flexes on Clair and is more fun, so be quiet and let me play with my food. With Kingdra asleep, we swap into Ampharos, who lowers its speed and gets off a discharge. We then repeat the same play as earlier, swapping into Parasect to absorb a Hydro Pump and get off another Spore. Then we just rinse and repeat this strategy to victory. Clair throws a fit about losing and makes us go attempt the Dragon Master challenge at the Dragon's Den. So we go do that by answering an old man's questions and pass the test. Clair, of course, throws another fit, but is promptly put in her place by the old man using the classic strategy of, "I'll tell mom." Honestly, this whole cabal of Dragon-type trainers just seems super fucking petty. I mean, we just saw what happened with Clair and the old man, and Lance fucking hyper-beamed a guy earlier for not moving out of the way. Like, Jesus Christ, dude, calm down. Anyways, we get interrupted as we attempt to leave the cave.
Incredibly slow. Who the fuck are you? Oh, it's Clair. Okay, cool. What's up, Clair? You're looking a little different today.
We also get a call from Elm asking us to come to the lab, so we go do that and get the Master Ball before going off to fight the 5 Kimono Girls. We decide to lead each of the fights with King Primeape, and as expected, easily beat all of them with him leading the charge each time. We're now allowed to climb up Bell Tower, and the teleportation puzzles are back. They've returned to curse me. It only took 10 minutes to get through the whole tower, but my god, did it feel like it took a whole lot longer. We watch the Kimono Girls do their ritual to summon Ho-Oh with a Silver Bell. It's time to fight a legendary. It's only a single Pokemon, but it's at a decent level and has powerful moves. This could potentially take out someone on our team.
Ciao. What a good noise. Alright. Look at him, the big bird. Level 45. Alright. Oh, good battle. With the legendary Pokemon. So very difficult and strong he is. Perfect.
After putting a mythical, very important local deity inside of a computer to rot for all eternity, all that's left is Victory Road in the Elite Four. Victory Road is simple enough. It's one of the shortest in the whole series. We solve some puzzles, pick up some items, the usual stuff. But as we're about to leave, we get interrupted by our rival one last time. We lead with Macargo, who OHKOs his lead Sneasel without issue, but we're forced to swap after getting confused and flinch stalled twice in a row. No worries though, Ampharos can handle this easy, until we get flinched once, and then twice, and then Confuse Raid. Have I mentioned how much I hate RNG sometimes? We're finally able to get a hit in and take out the Golbat. His Ace Meganium is up next and is quickly taken down the red health. It then, unfortunately, decides to go for a Petal Dance instead of a Synthesis.
Ooh, we might have just lost Ampharos. That, I think, was top of range. Ooh, shit. Oh my god. That's the second time we've gotten lucky like that, dude. Oh shit. Okay.
Well then, Ampharos is officially out of the battle. We swap into Pidgeot to hard counter the Haunter and take it out without a problem. To counter the Magneton he swaps in, we finally bring out the big guns, King Primate. After taking only a single blow from the king, our coward of an enemy flees, swapping into Kadabra. Now last time, our royal king was felled by such a creature, but he has learned, adapted, and evolved since then. The pathetic psychic type is no match for the king and falls without laying a single finger on him. All that's left is his cowardly Magneton, who had just fled from battle. He is unworthy to face the king. We swap into our Tangrowth to finish the job, denying him the right of dying at the hands of royalty. Now all that's left is the Elite Four, and boy is it a doozy. Kind of. The actual Elite Four members aren't all that scary, but Lance is absolutely terrifying. His team consists of a Gyarados, an Aerodactyl, a Charizard, and 3 Dragonites. The weakest link on the team is by far Gyarados, but both the Charizard and Aerodactyl have good type coverage, and all 3 of his Dragonites can output damage that our team just can't handle. The real challenging thing about this Elite Four is preparing a team that can beat Lance, but also has enough coverage to handle the other members of the Elite Four without losing anyone critical. After 2 hours of preparing, gathering items, checking different combinations, and running dozens of calculations, we're able to put together a team that I think stands a decent chance of getting us through. Feraligatr and Ampharos in particular are very crucial members of the team. We plan to heavily rely on one or both of them for most of the fights, so it is imperative that we keep both of them alive. The other members of the team are here for specific counters or just because they are generically good. With all that said, there's only one thing left to do. We lead with Ampharos to counter Will Xatu, which works exactly as planned, taking it out in a single hit. The following Jinx is also taken out, but Ampharos takes heavy damage and is out of the fight. He swaps into Exeggutor and we swap into our Slowbro since the Exeggutor has no grass type moves. We get put to sleep on the switch-in and don't wake up for 4 turns. During that time, Slowbro eats hit after hit after hit and wakes up still in the green. I never realized it before this, but damn is Slowbro good. Look at those stats! Anyways, Slowbro is able to take out the Exeggutor without taking any more damage thanks to his Quick Claw triggering. He then sends out his Ace Xatu. We're able to take it down to half health and use its Citrus Berry, but we have to swap out to avoid losing Slowbro. We swap into Feraligatr, who instantly gets his shit kicked in. He eats an Ominous Wind, gets confused and hits himself, and takes a Psychic. But despite all that, he lives and takes out the Xatu with a single crunch. All that's left is Will's own Slowbro, who we decide to mirror match. We swap into Slowbro and slack off to get a bunch of health back. From there, we just put it to sleep with Yawn and take it down with him Shadow Ball spam. 1 of 4, no deaths yet. Next up is Koga. We lead with Slowbro, who is just shy of being able to OHKO Koga's Ariados with Zen Headbutt. Because of this, he's forced to take 2 poison jabs, one of which crits and the other poisons him. Not a great start to an Elite Four fight. Thanks to a lucky Quick Claw pop, we're able to get off a Slack Off and take it out on the next turn. Next up is Fortress, who has Explosion. Luckily, it doesn't instantly explode. Unluckily, it lays down Toxic Spikes, which means that our whole team is effectively poisoned. We're able to put it to sleep with Yawn and go back to green health with a second Slack Off. Man, it's almost like being able to heal in battle is really good. We try to damage it with Shadow Ball, but it does negligible damage, so we swap into Ampharos, who is able to take it out with a couple discharges. He brings out his Muck, and we bring out our Mamoswine, who is able to OHKO it out of existence with an Earthquake. Next up is Venomoth, who is also OHKO'd by a second Earthquake. You would think that this would be immune to Ground-type moves, but nope. All he has left is his Ace Crobat. We swap into our Crobat and have a bit of a slap fight where we both just spam Wing Attack until one of us dies. Turns out I lose that slap fight, and have to swap into Feraligatr to finish the job. 2 down, 2 to go. The third member of the Elite Four, Bruno, is up next. We lead with Slowbro once again, who is very quickly becoming the MVP of this Elite Four. As is becoming customary, we put it to sleep with Yawn and then take it out with Zen Headbutt, taking no damage ourselves. He then sends out Hitmonchan, who hits Slowbro with a few Thunder Punches, but he easily eats them and takes out the Hitmonchan with another Zen Headbutt. Bruno then sends out his Onix, and we pivot to Feraligatr in turn, and OHKO it with a Waterfall. Up next is his Ace Machamp, who proceeds to do nothing and then die. His last Pokemon, Hitmonlee, comes out and uses Swagger on our Feraligatr, who unfortunately hits himself with the attack boost damage. A high jump kick brings us down to red health, and a second Confusion Trigger takes out Feraligatr. We easily take out the Hitmonlee with our Crobat on the next turn, but losing Feraligatr is a massive loss for our Lance fight since it had Ice Fang. 3 down. Now the nerves are really setting in. Finally, we have Karen. We lead the fight with our ace King Primeape, who is a clear counter to her defensive Umbreon lead. As expected, King Primeape takes out the Umbreon without issue. She swaps into her Murkrow and we swap into her Ampharos, who OHKOs it with a single discharge. She brings out her ace, and it is only fitting that we bring ours back out too. With a single Earthquake, her ace is defeated, being no match for the royal splendor of the king. Next up, she sends out her Gengar, who is also felled by our king. All she has left is her Vileplume, who is OHKO'd by our Golbat's Crit Wing attack. 4 to 4, 5 Pokemon remaining. All that's left is Lance. To prepare, we teach Slowbro the Blizzard team we picked up earlier, replacing Shadow Ball, and giving the Never Melt Ice from Feraligatr to Mamoswine. It's time for the champion fight. For the first time ever, we go into a fight having less Pokemon than our opponent. We lead with Slowbro against his Gyarados and put it to sleep with Yawn, eating 2 Dragon Pulses in the process. After this, we safely swap into Ampharos, who OHKOs it with a critical discharge. Then Lance sends out his Ace Dragonite, the first of 3. Each of these Dragonites has the potential to wipe our team. We calculate that Ampharos can take an Outrage, letting us paralyze it with a Thunder Wave, which would allow us to then outspeed it with our Slowbro and OHKO with a Blizzard. We click Thunder Wave. If Outrage crits, the run is likely over.
Okay. Yep. Oh, damn it. What a waste of a move.
We get the paralysis off, but not in the way we wanted. Regardless of this, we have to enact our plan. We swap into Slowbro, who eats the other Outrage and heals back up with the Slack Off for free, thanks to a lucky paralysis trigger. We're able to get off a Blizzard and bring the Dragonite down to red health, using its berry. This is where the trouble begins. We bring it down to red health with a Zen Headbutt, while the Dragonite goes for a Safeguard. We click Yawn, since we know that Lance is going to use a full restore, but we completely forget that Safeguard protects from status moves. Slowbro eats an Outrage, bringing it down to red health. We go for a Blizzard, which misses. Our only hope is to click Slack Off and hope that the Quick Claw activates. It does not. Losing Slowbro signals the beginning of the end. We swap into Crobat and use U-turn to get off some chip damage, and then go into Mamoswine, who is forced to eat the last Outrage turn. We click Ice Shard, which kills. If we had gotten a low damage roll here, the run would have been lost. Up next is Charizard. We go into our Crobat, who eats a Fire Fang. Then we get absurdly lucky. Crobat gets 2 flinches in a row thanks to its King's Rock held item. That is literally a 1% chance occurrence. Thanks to that, we're able to take out the Charizard. Then he sends out his Aerodactyl. The plan is simple. More flinches. We go for a bite, we get a flinch. We go for a second bite, we get a second flinch. At this point, we have gotten 4 flinches in a row. That is a 0.09% chance. That's almost as rare as a full odds shiny Pokemon. If you didn't think we were blessed by Arceus before, you better believe it now. Unfortunately though, our luck runs out and Crobat is taken out by a rock slide. With that, it's 3-3. We send out our Primeape. And now we can, as long as he doesn't crit, we can eat an Aerial Ace and kill with Karate Chop. Damn it! That was dumb of me. I shouldn't have wasted Primeape like that. That was dumb of me. We had a priority move. I'm such a dumbass. I'm such a fucking dumbass. It's down to a 2v2, except we are far weaker than our opponent. We have an Ampharos and a Mamoswine, both at low HP. He has 2 Dragonites, both at full HP and fully ready for combat. We have only a single out, Ice Shard. A level 50 Mamoswine holding a Never Melt Ice using Ice Shard against a level 49 Dragonite has a 43.8% chance to OHKO. We need this to happen twice in a row. We have a 19% chance of winning this run, an 81% chance of losing. It all comes down to one more lucky moment. I'll say this. It's a 50% chance to OHKO. If we can win 2 coin flips, we fucking win! Ugh, come on. If we lose a coin flip, we lose. Just straight out. We're done. Ooh, come on! One more! That's all we need. Come on, one more coin flip! Do it! Yeah! Fuck! I've been stressing about this fight all goddamn day. Oh, fuck, that feels so good. Oh, God, dude. We fucking did it! The luckiest Nuzlocke of all time. Just for fun, let's break down every lucky thing that has happened this run. First, Mankey is in this game. That wasn't planned at all beforehand. That was a pure 50-50 chance between Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Second, the Shiny Mareep on Route 32. 1 in 8,192. 0.012% chance. Third, getting the Heracross. But not only getting a Heracross, getting a female Heracross that is immune to Miltank's Attract and with Guts for its ability. Fourth, our insane Crobat Flinch luck. And 5, our 19% chance to win the game outright. And I'm sure I missed some more lucky moments somewhere. All in all, this game was far more difficult than Fire Red and Leaf Green were, but we managed to beat it on our first attempt. At this point, I'm convinced that I'm just the luckiest man alive. Not even with like the whole Chosen of Arceus lore stuff either. Just like straight up the fucking luckiest man alive. Hopefully that luck will follow us through into Pokemon Emerald along with our Swinub and our Mareep. With all that said, the Powerball jackpot is currently sitting at $1.5 billion right now, so I'm gonna go buy a lottery ticket. Wish me luck.